So a common question I've been getting a lot of lately is, should the Cowboys bring back Tyron Smith? Is it time to move on from him? Should we trade him? Should we cut him? Should we see what we can get from him and all those things? Well, you know, this is one of those topics where I like end up screaming on people and I end up feeling bad because I scream on people. So I really apologize if I if I have screamed on you in passing, but I just kind of get real passionate about my offensive line, right? But if I could take away offensive line bias, I would love to give you some thoughts. And you can kind of, you know, create your own damn narrative if you want to. I just kind of want to run down some things and you make your mind up on your own, okay? So, should we replace Tyron Smith? Also, you know something else this video should be? This video should be like the standing opinion. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna say everything I have to say in this video. Don't catch me in a live stream or on Twitter. Great block by Tyron right there. On a live stream or on Twitter talking about, oh Voch, you said this 3 months ago. Well, this is my point now. I'm updating my stance on everything, putting it all out there. Now, should we be replacing Tyron Smith? Yes. The question is, great block there by time. The question is, how do we do it? When do we do it? Like, and what do we gain from doing it? Or what do we lose from doing it? Okay, that's fair. Now, I think a lot of this is a thing now because we are in the top 5 drafting. We're currently 4, but I don't think that's going to last very long. So I think we're going to end up around like 2 or 3 or so, right? And there's this Oregon offensive lineman, Penei Sewell. And I tell other, you know, like fan bases or whatever, you know, that if you draft offensive line properly, you ain't got to worry about doing it. You know, I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time, and Tyron Smith has just kind of been my left tackle for the majority of that stint. You know, I mean, we had Doug Free for a little bit, but, you know, when you hit on offensive line, you've hit for a decade. You see what I'm saying? We've hit on Tyron Smith. And I know how hard it is to find offensive line. And you can ask these teams around the league, hey, what's your offensive line look like? And the majority of them will say our offensive line is crap. Okay, because offensive line as a whole is crap around the league. If you think about, you think about draft and how it works, then every single year there's a couple pass rushes, there's a couple D tackles, but every year there may be one offensive lineman altogether, or maybe 2 that you feel really good about, and a bunch of day 2 guys. You see what I'm saying? It's just more great defenders than there are great offensive linemen. So, do I just simply want to wash my hands of Tyron Smith? No. For a couple reasons. So I understand that Tyron Smith was out for the year this year, but Tyron Smith ain't out for the year guy. Tyron Smith is, I'm bound to miss 4 games a year guy. You know what I'm saying? But when he's healthy, he's a top 5 offensive lineman in the league. I think there's a difference between what you get with Tyron and what you get with like Sean Lee or something, right? Sean Lee is a guy that gets hurt for you, but he's nowhere near the best linebacker in the league. If you look at what Carolina was going through, where Luke Kuechly was the best linebacker in the league, but he had his issues with injuries, with his knees, with his concussions and things like that, and he eventually had to retire. But you deal with that because when Luke Kuechly's playing, he's one of the best linebackers in the league. I say the same thing about Tyron Smith. Another thing about Tyron Smith that we have to account for is 2 things, really. Like, I know y'all love the pocket watch, so I'm only saying it for this context just to make this point. Tyron Smith is making like $12 million, $14 million or something like that. For a top 5 offensive line, that's incredible value because Laramie Tunsil, you know, is making 22. He just got paid. He's in Houston right now. Laramie Tunsil just got paid 22. So if the high number for offensive line, or tackle rather, left tackle in particular, if the high number is 22 and damn Tyron making 12, if he missed 4 games a year, then you basically paying the best offensive lineman in the league $1 million a game. That's crazy value. You know, we always want to talk about value, getting the bang for your buck, or Jerry's buck, because I ain't paying nobody nothing, but just getting value, right? Oh, well, I'll bring Tyron Smith back on an incentive contract. I'll pay him per game that he plays. Okay, that's an interesting contract, but if Tyron plays 12 games and he's making $12 million, that's basically what it is. Right? That's basically what it is. You know, Tyron's out for the year now, but, you know, everybody for the Cowboys is out for the year right now. That's not the normal case. But I'm just not just so ready to push Tyron Smith off a bridge right now because I know who he can be. But don't get it mistaken. Voch ain't stupid. Right? Voch understands that, you know, Tyron ain't got long, and Tyron will roll out the bed one day, wake up, and go ouch. And you would rather be prepared for that situation than not to be, right? So when it comes to the Penei Sewell question, right? Like, should we draft him? I think if we're in one of those top situations, or one of those top, you know, draft picks or whatnot, and we cannot get a trade, like we cannot trade back, then sure, I wouldn't mind drafting Penei Sewell and having him come in and to be a plan, right? Just to be, you know, just for us to plan around Penei Sewell. Now, do I want to bring him in and play him at left tackle immediately? No, because I think there are some things that Sewell can work on, and what better situation for Sewell than coming to the Cowboys and playing left guard, right? And y'all know I love Connor Williams, but I'm not above improvement. I think that's where a lot of people have me mistaken at. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you want to get rid of Tyron Smith. Okay, give me somebody better than Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith for 12 games is a mile better than Brandon Knight for 12. I mean, for Brandon Knight for, you know, 16 or whatever. You know what I mean? Or just Terrence Steele for 16. I would rather have Tyron Smith for those 12 games. See what I'm saying? So in my mind, what I want to do, right, is if I can't trade back and get multiple picks, I want to draft offensive line every year anyway. But if I can't trade back and get multiple picks for that number 2, 3, or whatever spot we end up drafting at, and we got to draft somebody, I feel perfectly fine drafting Penei Sewell. That dude is a stud. If you want to see his film session, I have that. It's up on my channel. If you want to see an hour-long film session of him, that's in my Patreon. We do hour-long film sessions over there now. So as a guy, Penei Sewell, that I want to bring in, I would rather play him at guard year one anyway. Penei Sewell at year one, is he better than Connor Williams at guard in year one? In my opinion, absolutely. I think so. I think he could be the best guard in the league immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring that dude in, put him at left guard, play him between Tyler Biadasz and Tyron Smith, right? And then one day, if Tyron were to ever go ouch, you have options. You can either say, okay, Connor Williams, since you're not starting guard anymore, let's put you at tackle and see what you can do. And maybe, you know, we can pull something off like that. Or if you just feel great about Penei Sewell, then you know Connor Williams can come right in and play left guard for you, and put Penei Sewell at left tackle. I just think that it gives you options. It just gives you multiple avenues to try to fix the problem or to try to address the situation. You know what I mean? And another big part in this whole thing for the for the pocket watching side, getting rid of Tyron Smith, you don't save any money there. You know, that doesn't help you because, you know, Tyron Smith got buttons on his contract, you know, to where we can turn his salary into signing bonus. So he'll end up making on the salary books, he'll be down for like $38, but he has made his 15 like upfront or whatever. Tyron has that button. So I think actually getting rid of Tyron Smith will actually cost you money, but it doesn't save you anything, you know? Like, it's not like a situation where, yo, we get rid of Tyron Smith, we save $15 million. That's not the case. It just all evens out because most of his money is pushed back anyway. So keep your GOAT level Pro Bowl Hall of Fame tackle that can still play. He'll be hurt. He's going to wake up some mornings and go ouch, and that's going to suck. He will be hurt, but when he's healthy for you, he's going to be a gangster. If we don't end up drafting Penei Sewell, then fine. You can, you know, go get a guard or a tackle or something later on in the draft, you know, and you can draft defense like you want to. But I think if you're pigeonholed into a situation, I do think the Cowboys can have the greatest offensive line in the league again if you draft Penei Sewell. And he's just a player that gives you options. I'm not considering him to be a very flexible player that can play left guard and left tackle in the same year. But I do think at some point, his second, third, fourth year into his career, I do think he'll be a really good tackle, and maybe that'll turn into Sewell at left tackle, McGovern at left guard, Biadasz at center, Zach at right guard, and Leal at right tackle. That may end up being what your line is. But even if you don't have Sewell, you still have a solid lineup. You can still go Williams at left guard, McGovern at Williams at left tackle, McGovern at left guard, Biadasz, Martin, Collins. You see what I'm saying? You can always go that route. So I like the fact that we do kind of get offensive linemen every year. You know, I say it with a little bit of malice, like we should be drafting offensive line every year. I say it like that, but I think for the most part, the Cowboys do. The Cowboys do, for the most part, you know, go out and get somebody different, whether it be, you know, center, then you go back 1 year, and it'd be guard, you go back another year, then it'd be guard. You know what I mean? Because if you look at, there's 5 offensive linemen, there's depth guys here, there's swing people there. You need like 8 offensive linemen for real. And if you drafted like left tackle first, and then you went through an 8-year cycle of drafting offensive linemen, well, then that's 8 years that you that your tackle is older now. Your tackle is 8 years older, and you just get to reset that evaluation. Because if you look at our line like now, like there's no promise that Connor Williams is going to be there very long, just in a sense of his ability. There's no reason for us to believe that Tyron's going to be there very long because of his health or whatever, right? So we just really don't know what circumstances are going to come to us, right? I mean, we see Travis Frederick in this film, and he's not there now because of Guillain-Barré syndrome. You know what I mean? So it's always something that we got to look on. I think drafting offensive line every single year is very effective, you know, and it ain't got to be first round, second round, whatever. It could be, you could just take a guy in the third if the value's good, and that can be your swing guard or your swing center for the next couple of years. You know, Joe Looney's been on this team for a while, you know, so I don't know, man. Let me know y'all thoughts. I know y'all like to ask me stuff, and I either answer, I fuss, or I like quasi ignore and come back to it. So here's the answer to that. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Follow me on Patreon. Like I said, draft season has started early over there. So patreon.com/vochlombardiyt. That link is in the description. Also, join my Discord. We're going to be doing some gaming over there. We're playing Among Us. So if you're one of those people that play that, then go to my Discord. That link is also in the description. And, you know, we can get some community games going if that's y'all's vibe. And besides that, man, I think that's all I got for y'all, man. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and Peace Whiskey, man. My intro is dope. Salute.